Thank you very much for your nice words. Dear ladies and gentlemen, dear colleagues and friends, Elena has already spoken about the amount of patients who need such programs. And I looked, how big is the problem totally? She said 10 million. I have three figures. 10 years ago, a German group made a study about how many people are suffering of mental health states, and they come to the astonishing point of 38.1% of the population. Others say, the European Union say 84 million of people suffer of mental health problems. That would be about every sixth person is suffering. So the problem is a pandemic, not now, but since decades. One of the problems are that we have no concrete idea how deep sick the people are, these 84 millions. So there are many who can live a normal life, and others have to be hospitalized and are in danger to lose their life. But how many these groups are by numbers are not clarified yet. So it's good for the future to have these open questions. And around this group of people, a lot of professions have organized themselves, from psychiatrists, psychologists, psychotherapists, counselors, healers, lawyers, priests, and many others who think they can help someone or can make their living out of it even. So, and I would say more and more groups are interested to go into this business, and certainly the digital people are also very active. So in the meanwhile, there are thousands of programs, and with that, this will be my last point. The question is, what kind of relationship is this? But before, I wanted to tell you that there are investigations. COVID, we must thank COVID, because with COVID, the digitalization made an enormous push in the field. We observed it clinically, so to say, when COVID came up, and the Social Security supported the idea to do it online. In Austria, it was forbidden by law. It was in the field of psychotherapy, the law says it has to be a personal relationship. And everyone understood personal means to sit together in a room, more or less hermetically. But is a digital relationship a person-to-person relationship? Nevertheless, it worked, surprisingly. Most of the psychotherapists started to do their therapies online. Certainly because they have to make their living out of it. But the surprise was that most of them, especially the older ones, are digital primitives or analphabets in this field. Nevertheless, in the meanwhile, the operation of a digital activity is very easy. So most of them have been able to learn it. And what is very funny, now when the crisis seems to be over, at least for a little time, most of them would like to stick to it. Only 5% of those who were investigated wanted to get rid of it. The rest want to use it in the future, and those who were very intensive involved like it more than those who just did it from time to time. So about 73% of another investigation of psychotherapists went from personal relationship in the hermetic room to the hermetic situation of a digital relationship. Our university also works with a similar organization like yours, InstaHelp, and they started in 2015, and with 6 psychologists, and in the meanwhile they employ 260 colleagues. So it becomes a relevant enterprise, and this is very good. Our duty in this context is to develop programs and to supervise them from the outside. But what they also don't know is about the severeness of those who use these tools, how sick they are, if they have awareness. And so I come to the last point. This is the question, can a digital relationship be a real relationship? Can it touch our heart and our brain and our personality? We know from movies that it is possible, because when we see a movie with a love story, we can appreciate also the emotions which come up, or when it is a thriller, we also can feel how it is when you are tortured or when you are a killer. So, and in the digital flow of a relationship, it is possible to meet the other. What we don't know is, as I said it already twice, is the depth of the relationship. This is still a mystery, and we will have to investigate in the future this topic. What we did, we made a survey of patients who shifted to digital therapy and then went back to personal therapy, and again digital, three measure points. And we asked the patients, and we asked the therapists whether the relationship has changed. Surprise, surprise, it did not. So they described the same kind of positive relationship as in the digital phase as in the personal phase. But I must say this was a study in our outpatient clinic. What we don't know is, and which is also ethically a problem, is how can we do digital relationship besides all the programs, but a digital relationship without having a personal contact. A personal contact in the sense of meeting in person first. We have some experiences in the field of training of students with the same topic, personal sitting in the lecture hall and sitting in front of the computer. And in fact, we can see that the best, from my point of view, is the mixture. So when you have a personal relationship, it's no problem to shift to the computer or to the digital and back. But still, hard evidence it is not yet found because it's not yet investigated. And with these open words, I want to finish. Thank you.
Thank you so much.